Good evening, everybody. Hello, I'm Laurine Garaude. I'm director of the TV division at RAI. We're so delighted to have this MIPJunior 2015, our world premiere. And the world premiere tonight, as you know, is Zorro the Chronicles. Zorro, what an iconic superhero who's accompanied so many generations absolutely around the world. And more than ever, children, they're fraught with lots of images from around the world that are often harsh and violent. And more than ever, children need to be reassured, and especially their parents, and with trusted heroes and values. So that's why we all love Zorro so much. Zorro, who's motivated with his tireless love of justice and freedom, and who defeats enemies without violence. So we're absolutely delighted, thrilled is the word, that to have the first ever CGI adaptation of the adventures of Zorro, Zorro the Chronicles. And so I will now say who it was produced by. Produced by Cyber Group Studios in association with Zorro Productions, in collaboration with Blue Spirit Studios, and with the participation of France Televisions and RAI. It's a great, great pleasure to introduce to you now Pierre Sissmann, President Cyber Group Studios, producer and the creative mind behind this absolutely fantastic project.
Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. This is a very emotional moment, as you can imagine. The first episode starts with 5 long years, Bernardo, since we have left Spain. This is the first episode that I'm sure you'll all watch. It's actually 5 years. I called a friend at France Television, and I met with Pierre, and I met with Julien, and I met with Tiphaine. 5 years ago, we embarked on the Zorro adventure, and I called John Gertz, who's the president of Zorro Productions International, was kind enough to listen to me for at least 5 hours without committing to anything. And then it took us about a year to do a contract, but that was cool. And, yeah, right, John, I had to say this. You're going to see tonight a number of things, a number of sequences. You're going to see a making of, you're going to see an episode, and you're going to see a what's next. So that should give you a good idea, if not a great idea, I hope a great idea of what the series is about. However, I would like first to thank a number of people and to have some people come on stage, because this is a giant collaborative effort. It took us 5 years. Over 250 people worked between the animators, the artists, the executives in the television stations, the different financing institutions that helped us as much as the budget was being overspent, so they always were there. Thank you very much to them. But first of all, I would like to introduce you to John Gertz, who's the president of Zorro Productions International.
Let me start by saying that I've heard a lot of things here tonight already that aren't exactly true. Okay, so one is that Zorro is not exactly a superhero. I'm often told by people that Zorro was the very first superhero, and that's not exactly true, because Zorro was not bitten by a spider and wasn't born on another planet. Zorro has no superpowers. He's exactly like you and me, and consequently, because he's utterly human and every man, he has to defeat his enemies not with brute force or with a special secret weapon, but rather with the cunning and wit and humor that is uniquely his among all of the pantheon of heroes. But when I met Pierre, it's true, it took a year to negotiate the contract, but it only took a little while to realize that I was in the presence of someone who has a unique and amazing talent in animation in general, but in particular with a true understanding of the character of Zorro. I have to say, honestly, I've worked with a lot of creative talent over the years. I've worked with Steven Spielberg. I'm working with Quentin Tarantino now. I've worked with Isabel Allende and many other highly, highly talented people. But I have rarely worked with someone who is as talented as Pierre Sissmann and his group. the fidelity in which they bring out the wit, the humor, the action, the adventure, the spirit of Zorro, the history of it, and consequently, he's created a TV series of the highest caliber, and one in which that really captures the spirit of Zorro, and one that families, girls and boys and their parents, because every generation has grown up with their own version of Zorro. After all, we've done, since I've taken it over, some 600 episodes of television, 4 feature films, maybe 65 different stage productions just in my career, and the career of Zorro goes back further yet. And so every generation will be able to sit in front of the television and enjoy this TV series, which is multi-layered and really very, very rich. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you. I'd like to call Olivier Lelardoux, who's the director of the series, who's going to explain to you.
It's very impressive for me. So, as a director, I have to say that we want to make the most epic, entertaining, and fun series of Zorro. And to tell you the truth, it was very hard to do. It was not easy. It was a big challenge for our team in Paris, in Angoulême, and in Montreal for the animation. So big up for their talent and their passion for Zorro. So it's very important for me to say that. And I would like to thank Zorro and to make this dream possible. And this is very, very extraordinary for us to push the talent to the limits like we did. And so thank you very much for that. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. None of this would have been possible if Pierre Sissmann and Tiphaine de Raguenel for France Televisions and Luca Milano for RAI wouldn't have joined us. They believed in the project from the first moment. We came with this idea, you'll see it, it's a new Zorro. Zorro has a twin sister. Bernardo is younger. The 3 of them are 19 years old. And they believed in the concept that it would talk to generations of today. So I would like Pierre and Tiphaine first for France Televisions to say a few words.
Thank you, Pierre, and congratulations for you and all the team that worked on this beautiful project. It was a long way, but we would like to share this way with you and this team. And we are very happy now to have this new version of Zorro, one which is full of humanity, and it's very important for us to have this new one with a lot of friendship in the story, with a lot of comedy, with a lot of emotion. And it was very important to have not only an action-adventure show for France 3, and we are really sure it will captivate kids and their parents, and it's very important for us on France 3. You want to add something?
Not sure.
And we are very proud to work with Quentin Tarantino. No, sorry, Pierre Sissmann.
Steven Spielberg. Luca. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Tiphaine.
Thank you for coming. Of course, Zorro is not an Italian property, but now and then, as RAI, we like to support great international products just because of their editorial strength. And we are very happy now and proud to having taken part and supported this production for 2 reasons. First, because it's a story and it's a product that has a great quality for what regards script and visual strength. It is a moment in which there are so many remakes or classical figures, not all of the same level. Here, the quality of the script, of the story, the ideas at the basis of the series has been the first element that invited us to support. And second, also the content, because in a moment in which so many stories are just contemporary contemporary stories of high school clockrooms or contemporary themes to show again great adventures, a story that have a complexity, different level of stories that are in the same series. This is something that we want to offer to our public again, together with the values of strength, courage, dignity, also some sort of rebellion that helps also our public to grow up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to start the screening. I will come back a couple of times just to say a few words. Before that, I want to thank all the broadcasters that joined France Televisions and RAI. You know, I mean, I can't cite them all because I'm going to forget. But, you know, Télé-Québec, Clan in Spain, in Scandinavia, in Latin America, in Belgium, so everywhere. You know, we've pre-sold this series based on a few episodes, more than we've pre-sold any series, which witnesses that, you know, people like it, and we're so happy. So what you're going to see now is 3 pieces of program. The first one is a 9-minute making of that we shot over the course of last year that will show you how we intended to create a new series and the challenges that there were. I co-wrote the Bible of the series with my friend Annabelle Perrichon, who got stuck somewhere in the train in between Lyon and Avignon, and I don't understand why she's not here today, but she has been a big part of this. We then worked with a lot of authors and talent, graphic artists, Christophe Rendu and Georges Boucher-Lachem, who have been the artists behind Arthur and the Minimoy of Luc Besson. So a lot of talent has accompanied this series. So you're going to see first this making of, and I'll come back to explain what you see after. You'll see an episode, and then you'll see what's next, and I'll come back just after that. So if we can launch with the same sound we had yesterday, with no light, that would be great. Thank you very much.